Welcome to Thoughts in a Glass podcast. I'm Latoya,
And I'm Kendra.
and this is a weekly podcast where we share our unfiltered thoughts on a variety of topics.
So sit back, relax, and grab your favorite drink and join us on a conversation of real, raw, and ridiculously funny commentary.
Period.
Mhm.
Every week we do a drink of the night. Kendra, what's our drink tonight?
Tonight's drink is in homage
Okay.
to my mother
Ooh.
because she is a teeny bit older,
Aww.
and her favorite drinks are martinis. Now, we have had plenty of martinis. We've had
Yeah.
lemon drops martinis. We've had espresso martinis. This one is a pineapple martini.
Period.
Roll the clip, as they would say.
You know
And
that-
that's how you make it.
Oh, okay. That's how we doing it this time. Okay. Cheers.
I love, not two sips. I love a good pineapple. I love a good pineapple cocktail.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually pretty good. So, all right. Have you been watching anything?
No, I haven't really been watching anything.
Oh, you've been busy.
Been super busy. Only this is the thing. When I get super busy to help my anxiety, and they say it's an
D.
ADHD thing. Where I watch old shows, old things just to keep me calm.
Yeah.
So I be watching. I finished The Nanny.
Okay.
I started watching Castle again.
Okay.
Because I had been late. I was like, I'm gonna need these people later on. So let me chill.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've been watching Abbott.
Okay.
You know, catching up. I have been watching Sister Wives. And
You
I know how I haven't listen. I know I ain't talked about it in a minute. They just came back. They was on a little hiatus.
Yeah.
When I tell you, Cody done a 180.
Really?
And like, you know, I was wrong for saying that I didn't love their mothers. I did love them. But bitch, shut up.
I feel
You
like
went through a whole season talking foolery.
I feel like he has to do that to kind of like revamp the drama.
So the thing is, I think he's doing this now because so this season, the first couple episodes is basically talking about Coyote Pass and how they need to get it back.
Mm-hmm.
But they did talk about, which is very sad and unfortunate, but in this season they talked about, they're on the episode now where they found out Garrison has committed suicide.
Okay.
So when Mary found out, she was in the middle of her confessional conversation. So she found out on camera.
Oh, wow.
And so kind of basically talking about that, and that basically saying that he has been struggling with alcoholism. And so Janelle was kind of talking about how like she would call and she was like, I don't understand why this time was different. She said he's gone through where he's kind of, she said he started drinking in 2020 during COVID.
Okay.
I think really feeling alone, and I think that's when like the family kind of was breaking down and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Bloggers and things like that say like he's always kind of been bullied by Robin and Cody kind of anyway, and so they may have contributed to, you know, that, and just everything. He didn't like the show. He didn't like what was going on the show. He didn't like how his mother was being treated. All of the different things. And then I think the loneliness. A lot of people went through this in COVID, and because she was like he was never really a drinker. He didn't even like alcohol, and then all of a sudden that just became, I guess, his vice.
Mm-hmm.
And so then she said they were texting, and she knew he was drinking, and she said he's done that. Like they'll be texting, and she may not get a reply, but then by the morning he's kind of like come out of it.
Yeah.
And so she said she kept texting, and so she asked her brothers, Gabriel and I can't think of the other one's name, but to go check on him.
Mm-hmm.
And when they went there, his brothers found him.
Aww.
And so they had to call their mother and say that he was gone.
Aww.
So, but then they talked about like the services and things like that. and how Cody's like, I just want to take him back home to Wyoming and things like that. So it's another blogger that kind of was like, they talked to somebody that was like, helped plan the funeral.
Mm-hmm.
And like, that kind of triggered them because Cody's not on his birth certificate because with them in polygamy, he didn't go to the hospital when they were born,
Wow.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And so he left all of his money, all of everything. Like his mother is is his power of attorney, and she would be the next of kin anyway. Um, she got his flag, his medals, and stuff like that. So Cody had an issue with that, and so then now, and they asked for no cameras because Garrison didn't want to be on like TLC anymore and stuff like that. Cody and Robin run cameras.
Wow.
He wanted to sit in the front row, and they were like, "You don't, Janelle don't even fuck with you. Like,
yeah,
he didn't even fuck with you. Like, you trying to make it about you, and it's not about you." And so they were saying that the army, the military, because he was in the reserves, I want to say, he would have gotten like the military burial and stuff, but he requested to be for a cremation. And so he was like, if he wanted to be buried, and you talking about you gonna take him to Wyoming and be buried, he should have been able to get a military burial,
right?
A real burial, but that's not what he wanted. So you still doing just to have a storyline running your mouth.
Cody's so narcissistic.
He's very much so. So anyway, that's why. And I didn't watch this episode because I can only really watch the clips. I'm not trying to be triggered. So I'll pick back up on Sunday and see what's
wow.
See. But yes, I was watching a little bit of that because I love my girl. I love Janelle. Mary seems cool. She's just trying to get her shit together. Now that she done really got lost, like noticed that man don't want her. And then I like Christine.
Oh yeah, Christine.
I really like Christine. So, and I like Janelle and Christine's relationship, and with the kid, their set of kids because they cool. So anyway,
wow. I think I maybe have watched the very first season of Sister Wives, but I couldn't really get into it.
Yeah,
but I'm not really a reality TV person.
Yeah, I get it. And then I have not been watching, but I just be watching the clips of Married to Medicine got crazy.
Oh really?
But Quad baby boyfriend is.
God, I don't even know who these people are.
Creme de la creme. And then, so Married to Medicine got crazy. You know, the Housewives is back on of Atlanta.
Okay.
They is back. Candy gone, I think. Portia back. Phaedra trying to get back. So that's I'm just,
if I was gonna watch one reality TV show just to be in the mix, what would you recommend?
For you, it would be either I would just give you the Married to Medicine, Housewives of Atlanta. I think you would like Housewives, but you would have to watch it from like
the beginning.
Because right now you wouldn't know why people are the way that they are.
They don't do like recaps.
And because a lot of people from the beginning ain't on there now.
Okay.
So it just, and then.
So maybe I should watch like Potomac then, because they don't have that many seasons.
They have 3.
Right, but so it's easy to get caught. Atlanta, they have how many?
Atlanta got a lot. And then I think with Atlanta, you may not have to go all the way back, but because like, so I'll say this: the beginning it was cool. It got down because I stopped watching it, and like right now I watch clips or like if something is really interesting, I'd be like, all right, let me tap in. But it hasn't been interesting enough for me to be like a full tap in. The one that's been like, okay, because y'all gonna always have some bullshit going.
What
is Married to Medicine?
Okay,
and
how many seasons do they have?
So Married to Medicine has a lot of seasons. I ain't gonna hold you, but. Because Mariah gets kicked off. So everybody is basically still there except Mariah got kicked off. And like another person, like, so like the core people. So it used to be Mariah, Dr. Jackie, Dr. Simone, Miss Quad, what's that girl name? Toya. And it was this Caucasian lady. Caucasian lady out. Damn. First season. So then they brung in, what's her name? Doctor, she the dentist. I can't think of her name. It just slipped my mind. But they brung her in. So then it was now it's a all black cast. Then they got Mariah up ass up out of there, and she's the executive producer, but got her ass up out of there. So then they brung on Sweet Tea. So Quad and Dr. Gregory, they was married.
Mm-hmm.
They had been married for at least like 7-8 years, and he wants a baby. He wanted a baby. She was like, I'm not bringing no baby into this toxic ass household. Right? We need to do some therapy. And he's a therapist. And we need to go to therapy because your ass is crazy. They end up getting a divorce.
Okay.
He comes back on the show with this lady named Sweet Tea. So now he's back. Quad's single on the show because she still has a contract.
Wow.
But she still comes and, girl, that was a whole mess. Went to Sweet Tea bachelorette party. Just too much sauce, okay?
Wow.
And that's the episode. This is the season where Phaedra also comes. Now I'm gonna give you a little background.
Why is Phaedra there?
Because Phaedra is hopping because she got kicked off of Atlanta.
But
girl.
is she married to Medicine?
So she started dating a doctor.
Oh, okay.
And that's how she got on there. But she was just doctor hopping. So, I mean, show hopping.
Okay.
But she just needed somebody to get her back on TV.
Right.
Because she had got kicked off of Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet Tea is a government contractor and used to work up this way.
Oh, really?
In McLean.
Okay.
So
do you recognize her?
No, but one of my friends from work was like, I was sitting next to her when she dropped messaged him on Instagram and was like, I can give you a bit. Like, she knows her.
Oh,
her.
wow.
She was like, Kendra, I was around her when she was like, I'm sliding his DMs. I'm going to get this nigga.
Well, she got him.
But then, so then, let me tell you about this last episode, the season reunion. Girl, one of the things that Quad said, and I said, it's so funny when you really when you know some tea about somebody, because I think Sweet Tea 30, Dr. G is 40 something, and she was like, so in the DM, she's like, I can give you what your wife can't, or your ex-wife couldn't give you. I can give you this baby, whatever. Child, why Sweet Tea can't is having issues? It having infertility issues.
Really?
So Quad gonna say, you done slid in that man DMs talking about so you gonna get what you got. Where's that? Girl blew her, just set the bomb off. But anyway, you would probably be like, that's what your mouth would be agape. You hear me? Your mouth would be agape on Married to Medicine. That's the one I think you would like. I don't think you would like Potomac only because Potomac to me is a very superficial situation, and we get no. It
gives that.
Yes, it gives soap opera and unnecessary bullshit, and it's a lot of colorism to me on there. So everybody on Potomac are of dark skin hue.
Or
not on Potomac, on Married to Medicine.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Well, yeah. I'll try. I'm not gonna make no promises.
No, you ain't gotta make no promises. I'm just telling you, it's sometimes it'd be a good Kiki. You know who else be watching? Michelle Obama.
How you know?
She said she watched Love and Hip Hop.
Oh, she did.
Yes, she did.
Oh. I just don't be the last reality TV show thing I was watching was I did watch Love Is Blind. But this most recent season I didn't. I couldn't.
You couldn't get into.
Yeah. Only thing I watched was everybody was talking about Ashley and the cheater guy that had the kids. I can't think of his name right now.
I don't watch it.
So I watched that because everybody was talking about that. I watched the first and the second seasons because those were good to me. I used to love Married at First Sight. Now, no way.
So I didn't really get into it until everybody kept talking about that black couple.
Yeah, Clay.
No.
Oh, what black couple?
The one where he was gaslighting the shit out of her.
Oh yes. Oh my God, I can't think of their names right now. But when he said he owned a Burger King franchise.
I don't know, but he had a girlfriend.
Yes,
and she ended up coming on top because she ended up losing the baby and stuff.
I can't think of their names right now, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
His eyes went in and his forehead came out. Girl, I said, you got the audacity and the nerve.
I know, right?
Look like somebody kicked you in the face.
Once again, the men can be unattractive, and they just really think they deserve these supermodel type of women.
He was so unattractive, like,
and he had a nerve to say that he wasn't attracted to her when she was beautiful. She was dark skinned, which they say they not colorists,
but was attracted her to her body.
Exactly.
And now I will say, the lady that he was messing with, she was maybe like our complexion. So
yeah,
it wasn't.
She was a little lighter.
Was she?
A little bit.
Maybe, but she looked.
Yeah, she had that. Exotic look.
Thank you. Yes, yes. But yeah. So what? You ain't watching nothing, but I know you be reading. What you got going?
So the most recent thing we read, the book club read, was Cabin in the Woods, which I would recommend. It was a cute little, like, it was quick. Y'all know I listen to all my books, so this one was, I think, like 7 hours. So it was quick. Basically, this girl is staying in a cabin in the woods. You find out throughout the story that she's on the run from something. She's hiding from her past. It's a psychological thriller, which they love. Y'all know they love that. But it ended up being really good. There was some plot twist towards the end, even some that I didn't even pick up on. It was written really well. So I'll drop that down in case anybody's interested, but it's called Cabin in the Woods. That's basically it. I haven't really been watching. Oh, I'm watching You, but I'm taking my time with it. Like, I'm not binging it. If I have time in the evening when I get home from work, I'll watch an episode or two. I think I'm halfway through. I think I'm like 5 episodes in. I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but this last season, if this is the last season, I think they're doing a pretty good job of, like, rounding it out and closing it up.
Closing up the chapters.
Yeah. Anyway, so, all right, so we're in the middle of spring, and everybody's spring cleaning, they're decluttering.
Are you?
I honestly, no, not really. Not really. Not really, no. A little bit. I just purchased some new sheets, and I just bought I have on my dresser like acrylic, the makeup drawers, the organizers, and it's getting full. Like, instead of it being all cute and organized, I got a bunch of shit just on top of it. Yeah. And so I was like, well, maybe I need another drawer because it's getting full. And I even recently did throw away some stuff that I wasn't using, but, like, as I'm building up my skincare, my different little stuff that I like, I need more. Yeah. So I bought another one of those. But I mean, this stuff is still in box. Like, I haven't started
to organize.
Exactly. So no, I'm not fully done my spring cleaning, but I'm getting in the mindset of spring cleaning. Yes. So
I'm supposed to be getting some beans. I'm not gonna have time this weekend to do nothing because
you ain't gonna have time the rest of this month to do nothing. Your spring cleaning gonna be summer cleaning.
I know it. Might as well wait till fall. But I need to clean out I don't want to buy more clothes until I move all of my winter, fall stuff and put them in bins.
They not in bins?
No, girl. They still in the closet.
We getting to the end of May. I mean, at this point.
I know. I'm trying to pull it together, y'all. I really am. Y'all know I had a busy. I work. Let me be a stay-at-home. If I was a stay-at-home girlfriend and mother, the things would be done. The dinners would be cooked.
Maybe.
Yes. When I was home,
you was doing all the things.
The laundry was done. The kids had food. They love when I'm home. We go and do activities. I make them write little book reports. We go to the museum. We go to the train. We do all the things. When I got to do something else, which is a 9 to 5, baby, I can only be present at one of the things regularly.
No, I feel that. What about, like, mental and emotional spring cleaning, right? How do you declutter your heart and your mind?
If I don't bring you into spring,
you clean.
Then I'm clean. I'm clutter me. You ain't with me. Because I'm going to tell you something. I go through seasonal depression. So that winter depression, when I come up out of it, when the spring sprung and you ain't with me, I'm having a time without you. And I tell you what you're not going to do. I'm not going to fall back in. You're not falling in back in and fall.
True. I feel like this is something that I can struggle with, right? Because the emotional baggage can weigh me down in a sense. I don't know. Like, it's not that easy for me all the time to be like, fuck it, I'm done with it. It is, but it's not. And I say that because once I finally get to that point, then it's like, okay, whatever. But it just takes me so long to get to that point. Like, I'm trying to figure out what happened. Why can I,
Right.
I'm doing all of that, which sometimes can take years. And then I finally will be like, all right, fuck it.
Yeah.
So I feel that. Like, how do you declutter the emotional space or the baggage of past friendships, things like that? Sometimes it takes a conscious effort to clean that out, right? And then what does that even look like?
I'll say, I think for me, if that's something that I was actually putting time in, I would probably, I think like quarterly, if you journal and you look at your journal quarterly and see what's going on, you could see when that spring quarter comes, where you are, what has been going on, if this is something that has been continuing in this relationship or that and forth. Now it's time to, this whole quarter, this is what's been happening. Maybe I need to reevaluate and do some soul searching on if this is something that I want to continue, or do I need to go ahead and let this go so it doesn't come into my next season?
For me, relationships are really important, right? And I think, one, just because I'm a social person, I get recharged from interacting with people. And two, I think it is definitely like that Libra energy, right? That is the sign of communication, of relationship, of partnership. So I really can resonate with that. So when I think about this, like, okay, like you say, as you go through these seasons, what type of patterns are you seeing that you don't want to bring into the next season? It's difficult because a lot of times, even if it's very clear that like this is an unhealthy pattern, I don't want to lose the relationship. Like, it's like, well, dag, this person was really there for me at this time, or we really bonded. Yeah, I don't like how some of the patterns are, I don't like some of the patterns that are showing up now, but I also don't want to just discard the connection.
But it's the thing, I think that people don't realize that you don't have to just recycle it. Sometimes your relationships get repurposed, and somebody that you may have talked to every day about everything, and all of a sudden they have a new life, new things going on. That doesn't mean you just be like, all right, well, we ain't friends no more, it's done. Recycle it. It's not somebody I maybe talk to on a regular basis, but I just make sure that I check in with quarterly, or I just make sure that if she need me to be there, I'm going to be there. But that's not someone that I'm holding this space with where I may be as vulnerable with that person or whatever. So it's a lot of times you may have something, and let's say you have a desk, and all of a sudden because you had a desktop, now you have a laptop and that desk isn't necessary. But then you say, okay, but you know what? I can use it as my vanity now.
Right.
I can use it as this. Now you may use it more,
or
you may use it less, but it's still something that's important to you.
Yeah.
And it's in your atmosphere. So I always say, see if you can recycle it first. And then if the recycling happens, cool. But if you find yourself like, no, this is just cluttering up and just taking up space, then it's time to be like, okay, well,
maybe I need to get rid of it.
This is something that might just need to go.
So we talked about this a little bit before, but that is a good perspective to have that I think I'll start using going forward. Because I do sometimes feel like, you say, in the black and white of either I fuck with you or I don't. Yeah. Right?
And the world is gray.
and I think the revelation that I have come to is that the black and whiteness is really to protect me. Because I don't always, blame it on my own ADHD or autism or whatever you want to call it. But I feel like I don't always pick up on social cues where I think things are one way, and I'm acting as if they're one way. And then I find out later, like, oh no, that wasn't the case. And I don't want to deal with the letdown or the hurt of that, of like, damn, I was doing all of this thinking that we were cool, or thinking that it was whatever, and it really wasn't that, right? So it's like, let me be very black and white, so that it's less of an opportunity of there being a misunderstanding or me getting my feelings hurt.
And that's the problem. And so the thing is that I've realized just in relationships, because I used to be very much so like, what is it? Like, are we together? Are we not together? Are we this? Are we that? And then I realized I'm losing or missing out on the experience trying to protect stuff, right? So like, even in my relationship with Yvonne, it's like, in the beginning, it's kind of like, what are we? And that's the question that people ask, like, so what are y'all doing? Y'all doing this, y'all doing that? And I'm like, realizing asking those questions becomes where we have to have a whole lot of talks. And when someone isn't as emotionally available or mature as you are, or hasn't done the work, you are helping walk them through a wall that's maybe stopping, like something that they put up to stop themselves. And so when you break that down, it's a revelation for someone else, but then for you it's very exhausting, and that wears out a situation. So what I've realized is like, let me just experience him and deal with him through the experience, instead of trying to curate the relationship, on the front end. And once I started doing that, I started being able to say stuff in the moment, right? So like, I don't wait like until we have a conversation. Like, well, when you did this, this is how it made me. It's like, no, I'll now say it now, because I'm like not putting so much pressure on what are we doing, where are we going, are we getting married, are we doing this, are we doing that. Now it's like, everything that a married couple do, someone that says they are, engaged, whatever, y'all gonna be together forever. Those are the things that we're doing now. Looking at finances, looking at this, and it's not something that I have to ask for. It's because he's getting comfortable just in the experience of it. So, and I would say, we were talking about before, I have friends in which we've been friends for years. And so, do I feel like they're one of my? Are they a confidant where I can talk about anything to, because we have talked about anything? Yes. But is that something I talk to every day? No. And then I'd be like, shoot, I need to call her, and then she doing this. And like, for example, I have a friend of mine who I actually butt dialed this weekend, and I was like, oh, I'm in Atlanta City, but I definitely make sure I got to call you. She's like, yeah, call me back when you get back in town. Well, I've been in town. Got home on Sunday,
couple weeks,
but then life starts happening, and then I'm at work. Now it's Mother's Day. Now, so I'm of course sending text messages, happy Mother's Day. How is everybody doing? Did you see the kids? What y'all do? But then life gets back hectic for the both of us. She working 2 jobs. She's just bought a house, so she has life, things going on, and it's like, I hope. Because for me, it's like, no matter what, she's always going to be a confidant and one of my closest friends. But does she have friends that she also talks to on a regular basis?
Probably.
That she's super close to? Absolutely. Do I have friends that I talk to on a regular basis for proximity purposes and just all around things? So it's just different. But does one friendship, she may be closer, they done been to the house, they done been out for drinks and this, that, and the fourth. Great. She and I, we don't have that relationship. But if she called me today and was like, hey, I gotta talk to you about this, we were on the phone for 3 hours.
Yeah.
So, but that doesn't change the dynamic or how I feel about her as the closeness of our friendship.
You know what kind of gets me sometimes, and maybe this is like the wrong way of thinking, but I don't like when, or I feel a little bit of regret when I have people that I feel like are really close to me, right? And then I include them in major moments, and down the line we're not that close anymore, but you're still a part of that moment. So I'll give you an example. Like, the people that I've had in my wedding, it's like now 13 years later, people looking at those photos and you would be like, okay, we've reconnected. We've been chilling for the last 3, 4, 5 years. I don't know half these people that was in your wedding. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, like, or like godparents. Like if I had a kid and I made somebody my child's godparent, and then my child gets like 15 years old and they're like, you don't talk to my godmother no more. It feels regretful to me. Like, and that's when I start feeling that feeling of, I thought that we had this, you know, we had this bond that, and I made you a part of this moment because I saw us being, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And the thing is, like, again, when we talk about these relationships, I think about like my dad and my mom and my, you know, my older siblings. With his older siblings, those are not my mom's children.
Right.
So his whole experience from 18 to 30 was with a whole nother person. So it's like the experience of that season, if you don't look at it as, oh, it's tainted now that we don't even talk anymore.
I don't look at it as it's tainted. I just sometimes feel like I would not have included you in that moment if I knew that you weren't going to be around for the long haul.
But that's the same thing that somebody would say, well, I wouldn't have married you if I didn't think that you was going to be around for the long haul. It just be like, but the experiences of life, like you're experiencing people.
I guess. Because you know what? I think you're right. Because now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, okay, well, the person you went to prom with, you're not still with that person, but you still
experience prom.
Yeah, you still like treasure those moments.
Yeah, your first kiss or your first this or your first that. So those, it sometimes, and it sucks when it does happen, like if it's a negative thing.
Yeah. And
you look at it and be like, man, that bitch slept with my damn man. And you did. You know? But if it's like,
and you all up in the picture.
And you all up in the picture, smelling and shit. But if you have somebody like, oh dang, I hate that our relationship kind of soured or we drifted apart. But you know, that would be the same thing if you look like the pictures that you have of me. Like if we didn't reconnect, you'd be like, dang, I got all these pictures of Kendra up in the joint. But it wasn't a negative experience.
Exactly. So it feels different. So because it wasn't a negative experience, I would look at those and be like, that was my girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was my dog.
But I would want you to do the same thing, even if it was like, oh, we kind of drifted apart. But it was like, you know what? When I needed that person to be there, they showed up. They were in my wedding. They were, you know, so if you weren't here here we are 40 years later. Because my mom has pictures of her, like, there was like 3 of them, and they were aces. And I think one of them was in the wedding and one of them wasn't. Was she friends with the one that wasn't in the wedding? So it just be like, and like none of her, like her besties from from college, I don't think they were in her wedding. But the people that was in her wedding, she don't really talk to like that, you know? So it just be the name of the game. And it's like, look at it as, dang, during that time, if that person was there for you and was a pinnacle part of that time in your life, appreciate that, and then appreciate the fact that they were removed for whatever reason.
Yeah, you're right. I could look at it that way. Like, damn, we had a time. Yeah, I could look at it that way. I just, I'd be feeling like, and maybe that's the holding the grudge part, right?
Yeah.
Because I would say that I don't really hold a grudge, but as we're talking about this, I'm wondering, is that a grudge?
That is.
Feeling like that? I mean, it's like,
you're not upset about it.
Yeah,
but it's kind of
it's like,
damn, you ain't even do the right thing.
Yeah.
Do the right thing. You play.
Or
you over there getting a plate.
Yeah, or you ain't even fuck with me for real. Is the dress still in the closet? Is it in the closet? Or did you give it to the Goodwill? Like, I need to recycle your ass. But the reality is that that's not always true, right? Like, even though that's how it may feel,
Mm-hmm.
it very well probably was that we were tight at that moment. We may not be now, but that doesn't mean that what we had then wasn't genuine.
Right. Or vice versa. Like you find you have friends that you make in your 40s, and now, like, you, let's say you know y'all a couple friends and things
Mm-hmm.
like that, and it's like, dang, I wish we had met years ago so you could have been in our
I
wedding, or you should have been
definitely
in this.
have had some connections like that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
well, for me, and also I think for Judah, because I feel like he doesn't really have a lot of male,
Mm-hmm.
like, he's never
Mm-hmm.
had a lot of friends,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
especially like guy
Mm-hmm.
friends.
Mm-hmm.
So as he makes his connections,
Mm-hmm.
as he's getting older, I do feel that, like, dang, I wish you would have met these people then,
And that
because
would have been a, you know,
we was scraping.
you knew him in third grade, right? You still cool?
Literally,
You got some coins? Can you rent a suit? You in the wedding?
literally.
I child, that would be me.
Mm.
That literally would be me, because he has a lot of people that he would be like, oh, this guy's my friend. This, and I'd be like, Ma, instead of walking me down the aisle, you and Toya gonna stand here. Like, I'm looking at the dog, Jace. What you want to do? Child, because when I say, where are your friends, Cole? I'll be like,
You know, from my experience, I would say don't put a whole lot of stock in that. Like, I now thinking back on it, I wish I would have just went with my gut.
mm-hmm.
And this is no shade to
Mm-hmm.
anybody that was in my wedding. It's really no shade.
Yeah.
I was just using that as an example.
Yeah.
But I do wish that I would have just went with my gut and say, hey, these are my people that I want around me. These are my people that I want there.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. But because he didn't have what he needed, I ended up adjusting
to his
to
stuff.
accommodate for him.
Yeah, so that's my thing. And I'm like, for me, I'm like, I'm not adding people just to have the lineup.
Yeah, we did that, and I wish I didn't.
I be like, you guys, how many groomsmen? Okay, so this one gonna be walking my mother down. This one gonna walk your mama down. This one gonna walk Janae down. And this one gonna stand next to you because I like him. He can hold the doors open.
Oh, and,
like,
hey, one of them might be walking by himself.
Hello?
One of them might walk by themselves.
And you the flyer boys. Hello, because what you gonna do? That would be my setup.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm cool. I am. Sometimes I'd be like, I need more people to talk to, because when I call my like my 5 and then nobody's available, I'm like, that sucks.
I'd be the opposite. Sometimes I'd be like literally when I get off work, either somebody has called me and I have to return somebody's phone call as soon as I get to the car. I don't have to, but
yeah,
you know what I mean? They call, so like let me call them back. Or like my family they have now clocked my schedule. Well, I say family because I'm friends with a lot of my family, but then I also have my friends.
Mm-hmm.
So either one, like whether it be one of my aunts, my cousin, my sisters, my brother, like my homegirls, like by the time I get off from work, somebody's on my phone. Like it be days where I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I ain't really talk to nobody. I just actually got to listen to my music on the way home.
It's so bad. I forward my phone to work. Child, I guess it goes in the morning, and I'm like, shit, I didn't unfold my phone. It ain't no missed calls on my regular phone nor my work phone. Ain't nobody. I said, oh, I probably got some missed calls at work. I be like, dang. Literally, I'm sitting here and they want to text me and say, switch your phone over. It's late.
Mm-hmm.
I've been off work for
several hours.
Several. Ain't nobody hit my line except like the girls is like FaceTime me. But
I'm gonna send some of my people your way.
Please don't. Please don't.
I would tell Mari, call Kendra.
I be gifting up Gavin, and I be wore out, and I be like, all right, well,
I'm gonna tell Chris when Chris called me for his little random. And the thing about it is, which it's fine. I love my family. I love my friends, but it'd be like, oh hey, I was just calling you because why my coworker said this to me today.
Child.
Okay, well, I was just trying to decompress from my own work day and take my 2-hour drive home. But sure.
Let's get into
it.
I was at work the other day, and this is what's wrong with me and my kids, right? And this is the hard part with us, because we friends, but I be trying to be the parent. When I be trying to be the parent, they be like, who are you talking, like, what's going on? And now everybody got an attitude, right? So Jayla calls me at work and was like, no. So her number pops up. I answer the phone, and it's Mama Co. I said, so this is one of her
friends,
good girlfriends. Mm-hmm. What's up, Kayla? Can you tell Jayla? And I'm like, first she called me. She's like, Mama Co, can I come over on Friday? I'm like, okay, my mother's having a party and I can't go. Can I come over? I'm like, it's Tuesday and I'm at work. I said, Kayla, that's fine. No problem. Next call, I'm thinking it's something serious. Because when they call me while they at school, like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Ma, can you tell Kayla to give my iPad back? And I hear, Mama Co, she should have let me grab it from her. And I'm like, y'all not in class?
That's number one. Why y'all not in class?
Why y'all not? We at lunch. Like, I said, you know I'm at work.
Right. We wouldn't dare call our parents at work.
I'm not calling her. And then she calls me back and was like, Ma, they had a gun at the school. Did you get an email? I said, no. She said, I know you ain't get no email because you didn't call me. And you would have called me. And because you didn't call me, I know they ain't sent nothing out. Yes, loaded gun on the boy. I said, is your brother home? Yeah, he home. 6 o'clock, 6:30, I'm getting a call. Miss Co, when you coming to pick Jonathan up?
So he wasn't home.
He's supposed to be picked up by 5:30.
Oh, wow.
So then I call her and fuss her out. So now we're not talking. Because she mad at me. Because I asked her to go. I said, are you sure? Did you check? Are you sure? I can hear him. Jayla, I'm fussing. And I said, Janae, please tell Jonathan I'm sorry that he's sitting there by himself or whatever. And so she was like, Mama said she's sorry. You know, she asked Jayla to go check to see if you. She said, Jayla said that you were home. He was like, common sense. She ain't go upstairs and check. I said, now if it's 10
even the baby know.
He know. But now me and her beefing. I mean, she beefing with me.
I'm going to send Mari and Chris your way.
Ciao.
Because they do that. Call me and then don't be wanting. And then Chris, I get irritated with because I'm like, with your health problems, whenever you call, I'm like, okay, what's going on?
Janae is the same way because she be in car accidents. And between 9, if she calls, like, I'm like, don't call me until you get into the building. Because if she calls me at 8 o'clock, because I know she leaves the house around like 7:45, 8. Between 8 and 9:30, basically 9:30, you should be calling me from the job. Do not call me on your cell phone.
Yeah.
Because the first thing I'm like, oh,
what happened?
Got into an accident.
I
asked the phone, what's going on? Oh, is Dad at work? I was like, yeah. I've been calling him. I said, what's going on? What's wrong? Well, because I was going to see if he could take me to the body shop to get my car fixed. Get off my phone at 7 o'clock in the morning talking about this bullshit.
He does that all the time. Like, he'll call, and then if I don't answer, I'm like, oh, I got a missed call from Chris. Let me call him right back because, you know, it could be anything. Call him back. Oh, I didn't want nothing. I seen a container of food in the refrigerator. I just want to know if that was your lunch or not. Chris, please.
As I do with the kids, and hang up on you.
But then I'm like, when it's nothing, send me a text message. Yeah. Like if I don't answer, text me and be like, I just wanted to know whatever, or I didn't want anything, or you know anything. I'm like, don't. And then don't call me multiple times because then I'm really panicking, right? Yeah, like what is going on?
Child, my mother. You said, you know how we wouldn't dare call our. My mother be called. What you doing? And we be having a key. She was like, all right, I'm going to let you go fake work again. I call you later. I said, girl, get off my line.
They better be lucky that the government don't be like,
now what's going on?
no more personal calls.
The phone gonna say, this call is going to be hanging up in 5 seconds. Like from the jail, you've been on the phone for too damn long. I mean, just want a key. And it's so funny because the whole time I'm planning her stuff, I mean, I just don't know what to do. I mean, I just don't know what to wear. I mean, I just don't know what to do. And I'm like, just put it on. It's your birthday. I don't want to be overdressed. Just put it on. I don't want to. Just put it on. She don't have no control.
Mm-hmm.
So she is losing her mind.
Not having a control is making her out of control.
Out of control. When I tell you, it was like, and then like people were making it seem like they don't know what's going on either. She like, I just can't just spending all this money, and she's out of control, just spiral.
Why are you worrying about the money I'm spending?
And minding my business.
I can't wait for her to, like, I can't wait for her birthday weekend so she can finally see what you've been up to and, like.
She get on my face.
Yeah, you're going to have to give us the update on that.
I am going to have to update y'all on that.
But, yeah, so spring cleaning, if you're doing it.
Clean your mind, clean your closet, clean your heart, clean your lungs.
Would you say that, I mean, you don't really have this problem, but would you say that you're setting intentions for the rest of the year to do that, to make space for, or to get rid of things that are not?
Oh yeah. I've started that. I have relationships where I feel like I'm starting to see people's character. Like I'm starting not just to look at people just in how they treat me, but their overall character. And I don't be liking stuff, and now I'm not going to just be like, oh, that's fine, because it's happening to somebody else,
right? Because they're not doing it to me.
Because inevitably, that's their character.
Yeah, and
so I'm reevaluating relationships based on that, and that pool gets.
I mean, it was already small.
Listen, it's shallow. It's worse than the baby pool.
Can we even call it a pool? This might be a bathtub.
The bathtub got more water in it. It's a stand-up shower with the drain fully open. You hear me? You might catch it if you put your feet together. But if you can't, baby, get short. It's so. I'm like, I need to get out and make. We were having this conversation. I was like, we don't have any. When I took him away for his birthday, I was like, when we was at the pool party, I was like, we don't have, like, this would be fun if we had, like, couple friends.
Well, he has friends.
Couple friends.
But none of, they all single.
They all single.
Got it.
And then they just a little, they his friends.
Okay.
And I'm like, and they'll probably spend the money and stuff like that, but they're a little more polished.
Okay.
And if I'm at the pool party, I'm having a time. Listen, I'm having a time.
Yeah.
And that's what I got to do.
It's hard making couples friends. Yeah. Because, well, I don't know. Not every couple might agree with this, but at least for me, because me and you, because our interests are so different. It's hard for us to make couples friends. Like, I like to be out and about. He's a homebody, for real. Yeah. Unless it's motorcycles or fitness, he gonna be in the house. And then it's like, okay, you find somebody that likes motorcycles and fitness, but then, they don't do it the way he wants to do it. So then it's like, oh, well, this person ride motorcycles, but I ride, I have a Kawasaki and he ride a Harley. It's like, okay, well.
But the thing is, I will say, having someone it's a difference.
It is, but I'm just saying, now we have to get very specific or
yeah.
They like fitness. Well, they do CrossFit. I do bodybuilding. And it's like, okay.
I think when we went out, they had a time. They had a good time.
They did have a good time, but
we don't. Our schedules be so.
That is true, and also I will take accountability and say I'm not making that much of an effort to do couple stuff. I want to do what I want to do, and typically we align. If I want to do something, you'll ride with me. I'm not trying to figure out, do they also want to go to the ballet? Yeah. Like, no.
They ain't going to the ballet.
Now, I'm not even going to try. This is what I want to do.
They might be like, bet.
Dude, am I going to ask him, do he want to go to the Harry Potter Enchanted Forest? No. True. Because that's something that I want to do.
But we did
the escape room.
The escape room.
Yeah.
That was a time. When I say we struggled through it. We struggled. And when we made them whole hands. That was funny.
But the thing is, they knew that they had to touch. And they wasn't trying to hold hands.
They like, we think we gotta touch. I was like, okay. The hell? What you gonna do? Wait for us to connect? This ain't connect forwards, connect you two.
I know. I was thinking about axe throwing.
Funny. So we did that. We did that with a couple.
Oh,
that's fun.
I was telling Kim because her husband, Judah will hang out with her husband Mike too occasionally, and he also has a motorcycle. Mm-hmm. So I was telling her like we should do axe throwing, but they have been busy too. Like and again, hey, listen.
If your schedule is open, she finna have a heart attack. She got to fill it up.
I do.
She be like, who's available? Who's available? Who's available? Who's available?
I don't even be asking who available. I be like, this day, this event, this what I want to do. Email sent. Can y'all go? Yes or no?
And but the thing is, and this is the thing for me, I can't make a decision like that. And I be like, dang, I'm about to miss out. Well, see you again. See you later.
But low key though, you don't be you. It's not too many things that you have missed out on.
I know, but I know that I'm going to miss the Harry Potter thing because it's just too many.
It's too much going on in the summertime.
It's too many variables, and I don't know. And then the thing is, so this is the other thing. Before I could do that, I need to plan because my mother wants to go to New York. Mm-hmm. And if I say, I just went to New York with Latoya.
So I'm not going. I'm doing the one in DC. But it's only here from July to September, which I know is also a busy time for you.
July to September is a little bit more open, but I don't know. Like I haven't had a chance to actually just look. Yeah. And so I'd be seeing the emails and it was like July and I was like, okay, but I can't really get to July until I'm just a little bit out of the weeds of May. Mm-hmm. But I was like, but with now knowing that it's in DC, now I can make a better decision because it wouldn't be so many variables and like getting the kids traveling, where they need to go, getting the traveling and all that stuff. So if this is like, oh, J-Lo, watch your brother. Now we talking a different game. But yeah, I was like, when you put the dates out and for New York, I was like, because my mother's like, she was like, so she's going to her cruise in May, or she should be leaving shortly. She'll be leaving on the 22nd. Mm-hmm. And, Friday. And then.
And she gets back a week later.
She gets back on the 31st. So she's like, I need something to do in June. Okay. Because in July, she goes on another cruise. Mm. And she
can't just sit down for 1 month. Listen to me, pot calling the kettle black.
Okay, I'm trying to say, kettle? What you talking about? Yeah, so I'm like, she wants to go to New York so bad. And I'm like, okay, we could go up. And I'm like, we can go on a weekday. She was like, that's perfect. And she's like, I said, well, you want to do the 2 o'clock or the late show? She's like, we could do the 2 o'clock and then afterwards go to dinner.
What she want to go see?
So I told her right now was the Lion King. Mm-hmm. And she was like, she said between the Lion King and I said the other one, was it Hamilton? It was another one she said she wouldn't mind going to see. So I said, well, let me see what the tickets is looking like for the Lion King. and we could take the train up and just go like early in the morning, maybe get breakfast. Because a matinee, you don't really have to be dressy.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, we can go to, like, we don't have to go somewhere super fancy, but just catch dinner, get dinner, and then head back. So, she's emailed me twice about this.
I seen The Lion King already. Otherwise I would try to hop on that trip with y'all.
Yeah, she's right now. Those are the only things that really caught our eye that were out.
I haven't seen Hamilton, so if y'all decide y'all gonna go see Hamilton, I might slide on.
Cause I want to take the girls to see The Lion King, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I know they wouldn't want to see Hamilton.
Really?
No.
Why not?
Cause they weird.
Hamilton's so good though.
They're weird children. Janae told me years ago. We used to go to the movies all the time.
Janae would probably like it. Just thinking about like some of the books that she likes to read, she would probably like Hamilton.
She may. I don't know. Jayla, maybe not. Maybe not so much. They need to. First of all, they have not been to a. Well, they've gone to plays with like her grandmother, but it was more like Christmas musical situations.
Mm-hmm.
At the public playhouse or whatever.
Speaking of, I heard they have a The Color Purple playing in Baltimore, I think.
Oh, nice. Maybe I'll look at that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so maybe I wanted to take them. Maybe I will take them to like a play or something like that. But anyway, yeah, I just gotta figure out
what the schedule's looking like.
Yeah, the schedule will be so crazy, and then on top of that, like his little brother be in town, so I'm trying to.
Oh, that's right.
Help that bridge that gap.
Are you even? When is his brother coming into town?
The same weekend that his mother's here.
And he's staying for the summer.
Yeah.
So then you also have to consider that if you and your mom are going up to New York in June. Not to say that you gotta be here because his brother's here, but I know like y'all normally try to do like fun stuff with him. So
that's why it's like going up for the day and then coming back. I'm not going to Thursday. I was like either a Thursday and I would just take off like Friday or something. Like I would just do 2 days or something like that. But I said, or just going up on a Friday. I just take Friday off and I just have a long weekend. So we'll see. I want to, you know what I want to do? And because my bonus sister went, but they only record Monday through Thursday.
What?
Girl, go to Sherri Shepherd Show.
Oh, you should do that.
I said that would be so much fun.
That would be fun.
Get free tickets and just go see Sherri.
Why don't we just do that?
We should do that.
Tell your mom we not going to see a play. We're going to Sherri Shepherd Show.
Sherri Shepherd Show.
Oh, we could probably do both because her show is in the morning, right?
Because she tapes live at 10.
Go to a play after. That's an idea.
You want something?
Well,
we talked about all the things, y'all.
We really did.
Clean it up. That's what we're saying. Clean it up.
My cousin be watching the show and he said, sometimes when I'm watching y'all, it just sounds like
you just in the business.
He said it just sounds like y'all having a conversation and y'all got me on speakerphone.
Yes. If you get in them comments, you could be a part of the conversation.
I was like, that's how it's supposed to be.
Yes.
Like y'all just on the phone with us.
You just in the know.
Period.
You are the fly on the wall, as they would say. And I think
make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification button, tell a friend to tell a friend.
Get down in them comments.
And we'll drink to that. Wait, I can't. Okay, here we go.